Okay, I think. Alrighty, welcome everybody to the Grind Path to Pro podcast. Thank you for being so patient with us. I know we have started exceptionally late with this episode, but we did have some technical difficulties. Thankfully, your boy Sci-Fi dropped in just in time to save the day. I am Nari Mizuki. I will be your host as usual, and once again, I have some fantastic guests. Before we jump straight into the episode, type exclamation mark grind. It will give you a link to join our now live and public Discord server where you can chat with our guests, chat with each other, and submit your questions for our guests, which we will ask at the end of the segment. So if you do have some questions, just pop those in the chat. Right, I'm going to start with my usual rigmarole. I'm going to ask each of our guests, who are you and why should we care? So, Legday, let's start with you. Who are you and why should we care?
First off, exclamation mark grind.
Don't start, Legday.
What? You don't
It's
think that
called
needed
the
a V?
grind.
Just put exclamation mark grind. The least seedy thing you can type in a chat.
Oh, you're killing me.
Okay.
Okay,
What was the
I
question
just asked
again? I was just fixated upon exclamation mark grind.
who are you and why do we care?
Oh. Well, it was Father's Day yesterday, and I'm a daddy of tier 2 esports, baby. So
Hey.
I cast EU contenders. I casted Korean contenders as well. I speak fast, I shout a lot, and you probably shouldn't care, but I make memes and people laugh at them.
Clearly, evidently. All right, moving swiftly along before he says anything else untoward. eMIL, who are you and why should we care?
My name is eMIL. I don't know. You don't have to care if you don't want to. I won't force you. But I'm an off tank for Gladiators Legion, and I've previously won contenders, and
Woo.
been in I don't know, like 15, 16 teams before. Uh,
Jeez.
so yeah.
We'll get into your whole life story in a minute. Finally, oPuTo, who are you and why should we care?
Oh, I'm DPS for Talon Esports. I was DPS for Team Thailand. That's it.
Nice. Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it. All right. So, the first thing that we always do with each of our guests is we do a short interview with each of them just to get a little bit of a backstory about who they are and where they've come from. So, Legday, you've been with us before on the podcast. So, you can just give us a short little reminder of how you got into esports and specifically Overwatch.
Uh, I was a streamer for a MMO, which I will not name as it's a competitor to Blizzard's fantastic World of Warcraft game. And I did pretty well streaming that. I ended up getting very used to like commentating to an audience, mostly being very rude about people whose asses I was kicking in PvP. So a lot of people tuned in just to see what nasty things I was saying about them. So I was a little bit of a toxic little shit. But I decided that I was gonna use my powers of talking in a more entertaining way for good when I moved over to Overwatch. I wanted to cast ever since like watching my first esports broadcast, which was the old Gosu Weeklies with ZP and Hex used to commentate. And I used to very much pay attention to how they were commentating because I thought it was super cool. And obviously, being a streamer, I cared a lot about like the technicalities of the commentary. And after that, I just sort of like tried it out a couple times, like because of caring more about the technicalities as well. I used to actually typecast a load of quick play games. Like, so I used to play quick play with a load of my buddies when I wasn't playing comp or script. So if they had a full group, I'd actually just join as a spectator and I'd just type really fast to try and cast what was going on.
What?
Just trying to play on what I'd learned about casting.
I remember that actually, because I played some quick play with you.
Yeah, man, you used to
Yeah.
play quick play with me and eNinja and stuff, and when the group was full, I just joined and I just type because I just knew about casting, but I wanted to see if I could actually just like put it down in words, and it helped me to sort of like crystallize that knowledge. And then I eventually started casting for a thing called Overwatch University League, which had a change because you're not allowed a league in your name, lads. That's a big no-no from Daddy Blizz. But that's where I started. And after I did Overwatch University League, I sort of stole some content called Nexus Finals. And I restreamed it on my own channel in English because there wasn't an English broadcast. And then Blizzard luckily was like, you know what? We're not going to sue you, but you're going to have to come work for us. And I was like, if you insist. And I just punched my microphone. As you can tell, I'm a consummate professional.
Gee, so what you're saying is that if you break the law, sometimes it works in your favor?
Sometimes. Well,
Yeah,
it's not like hard law. It's like Twitch law.
No, don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah,
All right.
try it from a public library. They're harder to trace.
Jeez. Stop teaching my viewers how to be bad. Gosh. All right. Once again, we're going to move away from leg day before you corrupt everybody. We can go a little bit more in depth here with you, eMIL. So, obviously, now you're playing professional Overwatch. You mentioned that you are playing for Gladiators Legion and something 16 billion teams. How did you get into esports originally?
Think I started playing esports as a kid. So I played a lot of 1.6 CS, scrimmed with a bunch of teams when I was like 12 years old. And that transitioned to CSGO, where I played for fun. Like I wasn't paid, but I played in a team, and I tried really hard making it in CSGO. And as some people know, it's very hard if you don't start from the beginning to actually make it in a big game like that. Um, so when Overwatch was in beta, I decided I wanted to try it, and maybe I can make a team there, and maybe I can make it in another game. And as soon as the game was in beta, I made it, and I started playing, practicing right away. So I've been practicing and playing on teams in Overwatch for like 3 years now.
Jeez.
So I'm not a new kid on the block to this game.
And so how has your team progression gone? Where did you look? We obviously a lot of players will be on those teams that kind of faded away, but which team did you join that finally got you a break into getting into the higher echelons of Overwatch?
I'm like this sounds sad, but for me the high, like, making it in Overwatch is unfortunately getting to an A. So that's now after 3 years. And I've been in, let me see, I counted for I think 8 different contenders teams.
Jeez.
So it took me a lot of teams winning contenders to get where I had as a goal from the beginning. So it's been quite a journey. But for me, it's been kind of different, right? Because I'm a little bit older, so I have worked on the side for almost 3 years. So when I stopped working was actually when I joined Angry Titans. So you could say me actually going full time has helped me, get better in the end.
Yeah.
We loved Emil's job. That was the go-to joke about Emil, because as far as I'm aware, his job was digging graves, which obviously
Yeah.
works so well when he gets that many kills. The grave digger himself.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That's morbid.
it's not the best job to have because it's very demanding, like physically demanding. So coming home at 4 or 5, being exhausted and then screaming until the night, it was really hard, and it's hard to perform. So
Yeah.
When Owl puts out that like esport player pinup calendar when Emil gets to the league, he's going to be there ripped as hell.
yeah.
Swole.
Swole Emil.
Well, I've actually heard that you have a twin. I found that out literally like an hour ago. Doom Bros. That
Yeah.
kind of blew my mind.
Oh, it's like fun fact, he was in my first team ever. So we were like playing in the same team in Overwatch and trying to make it, both of us, right? Um, but he has, see if I know the English word. He has like a tinnitus in his ear. It's hard for him to focus for a long period of time. So he just focus on doing like managing stuff and doing editing and stuff like that. But he's been in the scene for as long as I have. Like he's been the manager for contenders teams. He's been editing for OWL players and stuff like that. So and on the plus side, he looks exactly. So during the Atlantic Showdown, it's kind of fun.
Is he as small as you? Can you at least be like, oh, that's the buff one. That must be
He
Emil.
he's bigger than me because he's still he works at the graveyard still. So he's very he's like 10 kilos more than me in muscle because he's the one like responsible for like if you work at the graveyard, right, there's different types of areas you can do. So you can do like I did kind of everything. You do maintaining, you do it could be digging graves, it could be whatever, right? He's all he does, his job is being responsible for every single grave that's being made is his job, right? So that's what he does all day, is digging graves. So he's he gets a very good physical form from that. And he goes to the gym, of course. So, but he looks like me, and like all the casters and people, they went up to him and told him,
Yeah,
oh,
like, good job,
congratulations.
man.
Yeah. I stood there in the corner like, oh, no one comes up to me.
Like two twins were on a graveyard in Sweden is like the classic beginning to an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
My whole thing is like, after a hard day's work at the graveyard digging graves, I'm gonna go gym.
Yeah.
What?
Well, to be fair, Emil's go-to was to actually kill some people to put in those graves.
Hey.
Yeah.
That would actually make a really good assassination team. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on here. So, oPuTo, tell us a little bit about how you got into esports, and then more specifically into Overwatch.
Okay. I just play CS 1.6 first game, and I know this game is fun, right? And I want to be like esport player. So, but CS is not big in Thailand at the time. So I find other games to play competitive. I play League of Legends. And I can be like 8 team in time, and I quit because I cannot be a pro, and I want to quit, like stop to be a sport, but I still play CS:GO, right? And my friend know I can like be good player. He invite me to join his team, but this team is like public. He know from Facebook, so we don't know anyone in that team, and it's unlucky for me. I'm just substitute. I never play for this team, but Crimson time. And I go outside with and my friend call me. Hey, oPuTo, we have bad news. Uh, my we our teammate have hackers.
What?
So the host of competitive scene they ban our team, and
Oh my god.
and um it's a joke ban, like 500 years you cannot
What?
competitive in CS:GO in
Did you say
500.
500 years?
It's just a meme.
How many of those
Okay.
500 years have passed? How many do you have left?
No, but right now I'm unbanned because I'm
Oh,
not
jeez.
I'm not a hacker.
Ah,
But
okay.
Okay.
I thought this just
on
happened 500
on
years
that
ago.
time, Overwatch came out, and I just play Overwatch, and I just dominate people in quick play. So they have the best team in Thailand named Bedtime. They have like 8 people, but they want to create second team. So they invite me to be substitute first, and then we have 12 people create second team named Weed Time, and we beat everyone in 2016. So people noise on that time, and we make World Cup Team Thailand.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what. And after World Cup, we try to find organize support our team be like esport player. So that's the first time we join esport. Fireball, Fireball email to us, join Fireball
Jeez.
on 2017 and play in OPC.
Mm-hmm.
OPC.
And now you're playing for Talon.
Yeah, and now pay for talent.
According to Wikipedia, it says you're on loan. Is that like true? Are you just?
Yeah, I'm still with Mega.
What?
So
And you're still?
Mega buy out me from Fireball, right? And we have like whole team, and then we say that disband.
Mm-hmm.
But Mega is keep.
What? Is that a
So,
thing? Do that?
because it's I'm under contract and they still paid without playing anything.
Hmm.
My word.
Yeah, and Talon coach want to work with me, so he contact Mega and loan me from them.
Did you play with Graceful and Moffat when they were out with
Yeah,
Mega?
OPC season 2.
I'm afraid I didn't watch. What did you think of playing with them?
Good. That's can like this.
Cool. We had Graceful a couple of times in EU contenders, and unfortunately, it wasn't overly impressive in those cases. But I didn't think he had the best support structure in all the teams that he was on. But Moffat's also disappeared entirely, whereas you've risen a bit more in prominence going over to Talon, of course.
Yeah.
And you guys did well. You came fourth at the gauntlet. And now you guys are doing. We've just had the first week of Korean contenders, and you guys are one up. So it's a good, strong start. Yeah. All right, that's going to bring us to the end of our little interview portion. We're going to be moving straight on to our next topic. Before I do, once again, and leg day, try not to die as I say this, exclamation mark grind. And it will give you the link to our Discord where you can come pop in and give us your questions for the guests. Otherwise, you are welcome to pop your questions into the chat. Sci-Fi is there to collect them for me. He is our collector for the day. We're going to be moving straight over onto the season 2 2019 predictions. Now, obviously, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on PAC, EU, and NA, since that is where our guests are from. So I think we just finished with you, oPuTo. So let's just carry on in that vein. Who do you think is going to take contenders this season in your region?
Talon for sure.
Hell yeah, that's brave. Despite the fact that you didn't win gauntlets.
Yeah, because I feel like this season we stronger. We have a 2 new player, Patipan, Mango Jai.
Oh yes, I remember Patty Pan joined you guys. How's that been going?
Really good. Because we cannot play full code 3-3 because I'm not good at Saria and Diva. So Patipan joy. Yeah, I just if we don't play Sombra, I just sub in and I just see him play Saria. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. I mean, that's one way to solve the problem of a player not being able to play a particular role or a particular hero. And that's working out for you guys. Clearly, I mean, you've taken that first match. Now, your next matchup, how are you feeling coming into that one? Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You-
How are you feeling about your next match?
Oh, sorry. My next, I don't know who I play. Wait.
We don't know who we play. We don't care. We'll win it anyway.
I mean, that's confidence.
No, it my coach job, so I don't care, right? I just focus on my scrim proof. Yeah, that's what I care.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it. As long as you're focusing on yourself and improving consistently, that's the best way to do it. And who do you guys
Yeah.
think, while you're busy looking for who your next match is, who do you think your biggest opposition is going to be in this season? The team you're most worried about?
Oh, I'm worried about to play Nova. They
Mm-hmm.
they have like a full Taiwanese team, and I think their communication is better than us because we have like uh 4 countries: Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand, and Korean, right? But we speak 3 languages: it's
Oh my
Chinese,
word.
Korean, and English. Sometimes I speak Thai with participant, but rarely. Not like just I try to speak today only, but I think just go English.
Well, I mean, I remember probably a similar problem was when Kefri was playing in pack. So how do you guys consolidate that with three different people or three different languages being spoken? How do you how?
Has anyone else lost audio from oPuTo?
Yeah,
I've
I
lost
lost.
audio from
I
him
thought my
completely.
internet was down, but no.
Me too. Oh no, we've lost oPuTo.
I
We
can
can't
see
hear
his
you.
webcam, huh?
Yeah, we can see he's talking, but we can't hear him.
Yes, someone soundproofed him.
Oh, hang on. He rejoined.
Oh,
Oh, we've lost
it's not a
oPuTo.
fan.
That is unlucky.
Go
You
on,
have to use
play with
sign
Elijah
sign
Puto.
language.
It's time.
Write
Get
this
in
thing
there.
down. Let's go. No? I was really expecting a clipboard and a pen. All right.
Sign
Well,
language now.
while we give him a minute to try and sort that out, we'll just move over onto EU. Leg day, that'll be your speciality. So obviously we've seen two somewhat upsets just in the first week, with of course Angry Titans and British Hurricane losing their first matches of the season. So what are you thinking of the teams so far?
Well, I really pity someone who's trying to make some power rankings for EU right now. It's an absolute
Yeah.
it's an absolute rude word. This is what it is. I'm not gonna lie, Blob, it's a mess down here.
Mm.
It's pretty hard to look at. Personally, I think for my shoe-in for winners will probably be Giganti, because I think they have a bit more consistency in their team, and they've only changed out one player, so they'll be able to sort of like try and fix that a little bit faster than people who've changed out 3 players like not British Hurricane, like Angry Titans. British Hurricane haven't changed anyone, but right now they're having some issues with not having had much rest time, changing from one map pool to another over the course of about a week, whereas a lot of people had a lot more time to scrim this map pool.
Yeah.
So British Hurricane a bit behind on scrim time, and at the moment looks like they're a bit behind on the will to play.
I thought you were gonna say the will to live, and I was gonna be like,
what happened at Atlantic Showdown?
Jeez.
That can break an emotional team, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't just feel like you've let yourself down, which is
Mm.
crushing, but you feel like you've let your region down.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, it's not long ago from Atlantic Showdown, right? So all those emotions are still there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they are
And
raw.
I feel for, because I haven't had a break yet, right, from myself. So I feel for Hurricanes and the 3 guys in Angry Titans, because it's brutal. And I remember when they announced when the next contender seasons were gonna be, we tried very hard to get that pushed forward a little bit. Because imagine if you, I guess if you, it's only 2 teams in Europe, right? The better you perform, the less time you're gonna have off, right? Um, and imagine playing non-stop, of playing after the finals, just playing this Atlantic Showdown, no break at all. It's nothing, just go, 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 go. You play Atlantic Showdown, and then you found out, like 9-10 days after the Atlantic Showdown, the new season begins right away. And you have to have, players are probably gonna go somewhere. You have to try out new players, try out maybe new coaches, try out all of this stuff in
Yeah.
10 days and practice with the new players within 10 days and have your break somehow within those 10 days.
And the player's going to be stressed as well, especially for
Yeah.
like signing to a team. You've got to deal with contracts. You've got to
Yeah.
get an agent involved. If you're going to like Titans, you've got to heckin' move as well because you've got to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to FL to the team house.
And
It's a lot to go on a player's plate.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear
Hey,
me?
he's back.
Hello.
You did it,
He's
Reddit.
back. Welcome back.
I think my sound card just broke.
You don't have a sound card?
Yeah,
Well,
USB
there's
sound
your
card.
first problem, love.
How'd you fix it?
The,
No, just on board sound card now. It's okay.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
I've got a dark horse as well. I think HSL are looking incredibly deadly. I don't know for how long, but
Mm.
having Zapre, Fisher, and now Ding on your team, there's a lot of Danish firepower. I think they could catch some teams very unawares, like they did this week.
Yeah, well, Fisher and Zapri blew my freaking mind in the Clockwork game. It was an
And they
insanely
blew
close
Engineer's
match.
brains out as well.
They really did. Yeah, it was a pretty stressful match to watch. I was in a watch party with a lot of the Clockwork peeps, and we were like, ah! It was a pretty good game. um, yeah, I can kind of agree with your assertion on what's going on in EU at the moment. I mean, a lot of the teams have gone through quite a few changes. SMC when they've swapped out 2 or 3 players. So have uh, who was it?
Most teams.
Actually, yeah, that's fair. Most teams. So
It
everybody's
feels
a
like
little bit
British Hurricane
shaky.
and Gigantia are like the only ones who are even as reminiscent of what they were before.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of pressure on the teams as well to maintain some semblance of performance.
Yeah. I
All
don't
right.
know. Like I feel, if I can say, like there's this pressure now. I feel they only have one spot for a gauntlet, right? EU.
Yeah.
Yep. Winner takes all.
Extra pressure.
Yeah, and you have to be EU's kind of little bit worst region, right? And you kind of have to be the best team. And I feel like, you know, we in Angry Titans, we maintained a spot, right? But we didn't get an extra spot for anyone.
Mhm.
And I feel it's a tough region to be in.
Mhm.
And I feel for it, and I just people don't give up because of like the situation and everything. And I don't think, you know, I don't think people should look at like teams like Angry Titans, British Hurricanes to be worse just because they're losing now, for example. Because I think they will bounce back. That's my opinion of it.
In some of these teams, they know that they need the time because they've been on a very in a very chaotic time since Atlantic Showdown, especially for British Hurricane and Angry Titans. And they know that they can perform if they get to playoffs. So for some of them, the group stage might not matter too much. Just get to playoffs and then play at
Yeah.
the level that you know you can play, and
Yeah.
then you can take the gauntlet spot. It doesn't matter as long as you get into playoffs, then you've still got your chance to win.
Yeah. That's the important part. Um, so we were talking before oPuTo's mic or
Key
sound card
language.
exploded.
You mean
Yeah,
about
yeah,
key
yeah,
language?
yeah. So how do
It's
you
like
guys handle that?
Mango Giant and CQB. They is like support player, right? They just talk about like how to who is use ultimate first in Chinese
Mm-hmm.
because Mango is because they speak Chinese, right? They no reason to speak English or Korean because they just talk each other. So they speak Chinese sometimes. But when we talk like long sentence, Mango Jai is he not good at English, so CQB need to translate for him. It's like he asking and he translate in script.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is happened a lot. And Korean, we have Korean front line.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they speak Korean, sometimes they speak English. But when we focus five, we speak English. And like
Okay.
beefing learn how we play. We speak English, so everyone know how to play. But it's like if we say like lie, get shatter or something like Brigid can stand like he charge. They speak Korean, like something like that. Yeah, but it happened a lot, so we know what he's talking about. And all of us, we play a lot of rank Korean, so we know how to communicate in Korean a little bit. Yeah.
That sort of like language mixture must be a huge potential asset when it comes to maybe getting recruited by a team like Guangzhou Charge, who of course also have the trifecta of languages within their communication structure. They have the Korean and the English, and I imagine Guangzhou Charge will be looking for some new players given how they're currently standing. So they maybe end up looking towards Talon for people who have actually fit into that communication structure before. Hopefully.
Could be.
We can talk in English, but sometimes if we don't understand each other, we just Google Translate.
Just like
but thi-
have a virtual cable setup. Just play the Google Translate voice through the com.
but the trouble is the first season of Contender, right? Arakne, our coach, he cannot feedback foreigner people like me. He cannot feedback anything because he not good at English, right? So he always keep Google Translate, and I just please we have more one coach for feedback me or teach me something like English coach, so we get face now.
Do you guys ever make use of volunteer translators?
We don't have translator,
Jeez. That must be so
but
stressful, especially as a coach, to like not be able to communicate effectively with your players. That's gotta be stressful.
yeah, but he always like I'm sitting here, right, and I see he feedback a lot of Korean people like tons of sentence, and I just what the fuck.
Yours are just like, good job, oPuTo.
Wait,
Good job.
Pat.
yeah, he just good. He just good. But he had a funny pattern like I think we can, but he said like something like this like we can win, but we need move up. I think something like that is funny, and we make fun about him. Every Korean player make fun about him about it.
Shame.
Well, it's
Yeah,
TNA.
shit.
We can win.
Yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, we can. Oh, but that's really cool. I like hearing stories from regions like Pack because obviously we don't hear too much from you guys, so it's always nice to hear. And the interesting, like the difference in issues that you guys have. Like for EU, one of our biggest issues is like poaching from NA. You know, but in a place like Pack, it's something as simple as just can we all speak the same language? It's an interesting difference. All right, let's move on over to North America. We did more or less cover EU in the interim. So you've just, I say arrived. Obviously, you're still in Sweden at the moment, but you've basically landed a NA spot. And today is the start of Contenders, in fact. So how are you feeling?
I'm confident. But there's so much I don't know about American Contenders. Because even though I play now in a team, right, I haven't had time to look at, anything at all. It's just been screaming.
Yeah.
So, I feel confident. I think we have a good roster, and I think we'll go far. But then again, America, I feel is very unpredictable. I have no idea who's good. Honestly, like some of the teams we play and scrim, I don't even know like what teams they are yet. Because I'm so focused on my own thing. So I have limited information, but all I know is that I think we will do good. And I also know there's a lot of teams playing a lot of Sombra goats in America. Like that's just so annoying. If you can imagine, like trying to stop a hack with 170 ping, it makes me, want to cry. So some annoying teams. But yeah, I think I can only like compare what I think NA will be to EU, and I think NA is much more widespread. It's like more teams, more wild cards, I guess, a little bit more diversity. While Europe is kind of a good old same Europe, you know. Um,
Yeah.
Now, do they
so
have a Clockwork Vendetta though?
I don't think so, right?
No.
Or I don't
Nah.
maybe I don't know, and I hit me in the face when we play them. I don't know.
Like NA lost Fusion University,
Mm,
and
yeah.
they got 4 gauntlet spots. So basically, you're guaranteed to go to gauntlet because there aren't 4 good NA teams.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
I'm
jeez,
happy. Like
okay.
for me, fusions and well, from my perspective, right? I had I have respect for Fusions University and Envy, right? Because those are the teams who beat me. And that's the only teams I've seen as really good in NA from my point of view, right? Um, but now we're in a new team and everyone is kind of evolving, right? So I'm expecting, you know, to continue winning, because that's what I want to do. And that's my mindset is always on just win and go as far as possible, right? And now when Fusion University isn't in America, I'm even more confident. But then again, I have no idea how teams will. And I think it's gonna be closer than I expect. I think I have kind of this winning mentality from winning contenders now, and it might bite me because I underestimate some teams. But I think it's gonna be close. I'm just happy Fusion is not in our group because I think we're very good.
Oh yeah,
So
they
Anyone
are.
else think it is insanely cheeky that they went to Gauntlet, got the 4th slot, and then just yeeted out of NA?
I mean, it's good for the NA people, right?
It was a parting gift. What it was a charitable donation from Korea to North America. They were like, "Thanks for the money, chumps. We're off. Enjoy the gauntlet spot. I'm sure one of you will be able to use it somehow." Which
Jeez.
I do think also guarantees that potentially NA will take last place of a gauntlet as well as maybe first.
You have a very good point there. I like that view on it. They may win, but at least they'll also come last. So that's it's a good balance.
I'm convinced. If I was gonna bet on where people were coming in the gauntlet, I'd put NA getting that last spot because I think the 4th team just will not be up to the standard that everyone else is. Because like I
Fair
think
enough.
they'd have a very strong top 3. Like Envy and Gladiators, I think are definitely going. Atlanta will probably make it as well. But then some of the rabble will get through.
Some of the rebel. Jeez.
They're gonna get past the bouncer, be like that Twitter meme, be like the guy with the open door.
Jeez, I've lost my question now. God damn it, like that. Um, oh yeah. So, who is in your region? When I say region, like there's east and west. So, which teams are you guys going to be coming up against? Give me a
Uh,
second to quickly look it up.
yeah, I actually prepared because I didn't know who were like in our group. But we're playing Square One tomorrow. But we
Square
have
one, okay.
Bermuda, Chicken Contenders, Atlanta, Sky Foxes, Phase 2, and Uprising Academy is in our group.
Oh,
That's a that's a fairly spicy group.
Yeah.
Some
And
teams there that I think you guys will be able to take quite easily, but I think there's some dark horses in there.
yeah, I think Atlanta Academy is really strong. Like I thought we were strong now in the when we played them as well in the LAN. We won, but it wasn't easy. And,
Yeah.
and I think we're really strong because we have kind of almost the same lineup, right? They switch out 1 or 2 players.
Yeah, they've put Kodak on 2-way.
Yeah, and I think Kodak is really good because I have respect for him because I played in the same team back in the day. So and I think Sky Foxes is also good. Play a lot of you know I can't say, but I think they're really good. I have no idea about other teams, unfortunately. Like I don't know Uprising Academy at all.
Well,
Uh,
they've just come through trials undefeated.
Well,
After being
to be
relegated
fair,
to trials,
everyone
fair
came
enough.
through trials, didn't they? There was only one team get through trials.
Undefeated, okay? That's the key word. Undefeated.
And the main tank play with like 300 ping. He is my
Yeah.
boy.
Hey, it's your boy.
Titawat,
It's
yeah,
your
Titawat.
boy.
They did quite well through trials. Phase 2 actually also did fairly well in trials as well.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, these are teams that have fought their way through trials, and Uprising were relegated in the last season. But you can never count them out. I mean, British Hurricane were relegated last year, and they came back and just smacked everybody around. So
Yeah. I think underestimating any team is really bad. So I'm expecting everyone to kind of show up and be really good. So for me, it's just play my best and hope for the best.
and who do you think is going to win your group? Just the last little question before we move to the next topic.
Uh, I'm not allowed to say my own team, right? So I would say my own team, obviously, but if not, I would say Atlanta.
Okay, cool. And we're going to clip that, stick it on Twitter, and we'll see what happens. All right, let's move straight on over to the next topic. Once again, exclamation mark grind. We'll give you a link to our Discord. I cannot say that without laughing anymore.
You
we'll
gotta
give
change
you a
it, man,
link.
to the grind. Just exclamation mark grind is that's a yikes.
You've actually ruined my life, LEGDAY. Thank you. All right, if you type
But
that in, we'll get a link
at least
to our
if Path to
Discord.
Pro goes down, you can keep the branding of the grind and turn it into something else entirely.
No. We're going to be moving over to our next topic. If you guys do have questions for our guests, do just pop them in the chat there. Sci-Fi's ready to grab them from you. We do the Q&A at the end of the segment. I did see a couple questions in the chat there. We're going to be doing our last two little things now, and then we are going to go on to the Q&A section. So we're going to be moving straight along to the World Cup rumors. Now, there was a separate part that I wanted to do, but for the sake of time, we're just going to stick to this one part of it, which I'll get to in a second. So basically, there's a rumor going around that 222 lock is on its way, not only for the World Cup, but also for the Overwatch League Stage 4. So I'm going to ask you guys, how legit do you think this is, and what kind of an impact is it going to have on the game?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard.
Mm,
uh,
Everybody with the.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of impact it will have, or even if it's true. I have no idea.
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know if that's true. It seems like kind of against the design philosophy of Blizzard's Overwatch team, but
Yeah.
maybe this is their middle ground where they're like, we don't want to like nerf tanks or supports into the ground. We want them to be as effective as they currently are, but at the same time, like we don't know how to fix how powerful 3-3 is without making either tanks useless on their own or supports useless on their own.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
As
maybe this is their middle ground.
as
The
long
thing
as they
is,
as long as they don't buff bunker, I'm like happy with anything because
Yeah,
bunker is gonna
that's
be
the thing.
worse than anything. I don't know.
Like we go 2-2-2, bunker is happening.
mhm.
Yeah,
Because like the best way to break bunker right now is with multiple DPS.
Yeah.
And if you're stuck with 2 DPS,
that's the problem, right? People thinking, oh, we're gonna break goats, but you're breaking triple DPS. It's taking away not like bunch of stuff, right?
Mhm.
So you're actually, I think, you're gonna make meta more like what can I say? Like more of the same instead of
Yeah.
like right now. We have his bunker, we have ghosts, triple DPS somewhere, whatever. And ghosts, I agree, it's really strong, right? But if you have a 2-2-2, like
Wait,
I
wait,
don't
wait,
know.
wait, wait. So you guys are telling me that you're not excited to see Bastion v Bastion behind an Orisa shield on opposite sides of the map?
No.
No,
No.
no. I want
No.
dive. Okay, dive is fine. I like if they bring back Monkey Diva Soldier Peel dive, right? Back like we played back in the day, I'm happy. But if
But
if it's Bastion, then no, no way.
I think ideally you'd have a lock for 2 support, 2 DPS, 1 flex, and 1 tank so that you can run triple DPS. But
Mhm.
like that's a very hard thing to sell into esports because that's something that's a little bit more difficult to convey to an audience when you add that additional variability. Like you can have, okay, these guys can pick anything, so the compositions are either the meta or their own choice, or it's 2-2-2 lock. But you add a little bit more complexity to it, like, oh, it's 2-2-2, 2-2-1, and then flex. You're like, it's gonna be a little bit harder to sell. But
Yeah.
yeah, no one's gonna really like bunker versus bunker because
Boring
it's,
as hell.
I think a single bunker, just like one team running it, is okay
Yeah.
in terms of how exciting it can be.
Mhm.
But two bunkers is it's a stalemate. It's trench warfare.
I mean, it really just does come down to who can break the shield faster and your shield management. So if the enemy team somehow manages their shields like plebs, then yeah, you get an extra 20 damage and maybe you win the fight. But
Maybe in this case you see teams running like Orisa Reinhardt, so you can actually rotate
yeah,
those shields.
yeah. And then, oh my
But then
lord,
just
then we go from
both
10 to
teams would
20
run
minute
that, and then no
fights.
one would break shield.
Yes. Oh lord, it sounds great. What do you mean?
Well, to
Like
be fair, if you get an amplification matrix in front of a Bastion, he can break Orisa's shield in a single second.
So then it comes down to which Batiste is gonna charge their ultimate faster.
Yeah. At that point, you're like, say, oh no, now we're talking about how bunker get interesting. You cycling the shield so that you can like have your Bastion take some damage, you can heal that up, get yourself the amplification matrix. Is that a tactic? You like cycle your shields not for shield health, but to take damage and build support.
Mm-hmm.
See,
And then we just
it's
come to
all
the
interesting when you get into the nitty gritty of it.
yeah.
Not for
And then
plebs
we have
though.
the same
No
problem.
plebs allowed in this strategy meeting.
But it's the same thing. I mean, in goats, everything is so intricate. It's when Zarya bubbles too early, if Reinhardt charges into the back line, if Zen
I
doesn't
don't think that
discord the
was
right
intricate.
person. Okay, that one's not as intricate, but
That
like,
one's unbind your shift, please.
but it's little things that make the composition. And for the people that are in the know, it's like, yo, this is so cool. But for everybody else, it's like, Reinhardt swings his hammer. That Reinhardt died. Oh, everybody hit Q. I mean, any composition can be interesting when you break it down into that. But for your casual viewer, it really is just a case of two bastions. You know.
Yeah, but the question is, right, are we, change it because of the viewers complaining, or are we gonna change it for it to be, fun and exciting to play for the players? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they should change it for the viewers, because then we're suffering for it, because we're actually the ones playing the game for the viewers, right?
Absolutely. And if players don't want to play, there's nothing for viewers to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
to be
big one.
devil's advocate, if there are no viewers to watch, no one's going to pay.
That's actually true as well.
Yeah.
Middle ground.
That's
Have to have a good middle
But,
ground for it.
like, esports money doesn't materialize out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You got your ads and you got your sponsors.
But
Yeah.
I still think if it's GOATs, people are gonna watch, because people have watched now when it's GOATs for like how many seasons, right? So I don't
Mhm.
think it's much of a problem. I just
Want to see
think,
Tracer Genji, dude.
yeah, like I would like to see dive, right? If I would see a 2-2-2 lock, I would want to see them nerfing bunker before that, so they actually become something exciting, like
I
you know.
think Orisa would need some significant nerfs.
Mm. I mean, fusion dive might surge in popularity if you get a good EMP onto the Bastion and the Batista and whatever. There's no immortality. Bastion can't go turret. There's like some potential play there, but I mean, more than anything, it is probably going to be a bunker mirror.
I hate Sombra. Let's remove that character.
Don't hit
What do you
me.
mean?
No, I don't hate you. I hate you.
I want someone to have a 0.8 second hack instead of 0.6 seconds. It
No hack.
feels
Let's
very
remove.
oppressive at the moment for manual.
Make it a. What do you mean? Just instant cast hack. Just make every hack an EMP.
It's now a skill shot. You just like fire out. You throw it like a basketball.
Oh, that would be so cool. Like Brigitte's armor packs. And if you miss, then it just goes into the ether. Like it doesn't lock on. You have to time it.
It can like miss the target and then just like bounce off. Oh no, I'm under attack.
Imagine if it was a boomerang, and if you miss, then you would catch it. But if it comes
We
back
need
and
a
it hits your
boomerang
own
hero
teammate,
right now.
Yeah.
Be so good. Okay, we veered way off topic.
This is the best.
oPuTo, what do you
topic.
think
Don't
of
worry.
a potential 2-2-2?
think we will see a lot of like Sombra Doomfist if we
Oh
not
yeah,
if we
Hackfist.
not talk about Banger. Yeah, but about Banger, I'm excited to see McCree with Chang. Season 1
Korean junk. That could actually work. Yeah, that could be an interesting spin on it.
McCree's a big fan favorite. People love watching McCree.
You
Because
mean
it's-
McRight click?
No, yeah, people don't like watching McRae as much, but they're buffing his primary fires. Who's got high DPS.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
the
if
speed of his
McCree get buff,
shots.
he will be back with buff.
I would say for the primary, give his right click damage drop because he's got a lot of shield break potential from just holding right click at a shield that's like 7 miles away. Because as far as I'm aware, he doesn't suffer from damage drop off on the bullets of his right click. So they do what 50 to 45 damage, and he fires 6 of them. So he's dealing 300 shield damage in like a second, and he has a second reload. It's a huge amount of shield pressure from him that I don't think is as warranted, but who knows? Oh, Nauri has now been replaced by
Cat.
Cat.
She worry about Cat.
Yeah, sorry about that. My cat's been like swearing at me for the entirety of this episode because he wanted to get out of my room, so I had to quickly go open the door.
I had to tell him it's their own fault.
But I didn't want to
Shouldn't have
interrupt
come in.
LEGDAY to be like, "I'll be right back." So I just thought, I'll just let him speak. He can speak forever. It's fine. He's got this.
I forget what I was even talking about.
What?
Oh yeah, we're talking about
McCree.
McCree's shield pressure with his right click. I think it needs damage drop off.
That'd be a good change. All right. Well, actually, it seems we do have a little bit of time to go into the second part of the World Cup thing. So this is going to be a fun one for me because I just like hearing the juice. The question is, who do you guys think is going to be on your World Cup team? Obviously, it's hard to say. Some of you are trialing, some of you may be involved with the committee in some way or whatever. So it's a bit of a spicy one to kind of speculate on. But let me put it like this: if you could create your dream Overwatch team, who would be on it for your country?
Overwatch
Oh my
World
God,
Cup,
Harry.
right?
Mate,
Yeah.
I'm a top 500 main tank forehead, like in season 4.
Can we get Jaws on the World Cup team for UK? Oh, that'd be...
Unfortunately, he's probably in like the top 20 flag supports we have.
Oof. Yeah, you guys actually have people to choose from.
Yeah, we got Boombox, we got Slur.
Slur is
Oh,
very good.
forgot about Slur. Yeah.
I don't know if Boombox is going to play in World Cup this year. If not, Slur's probably a lock for that spot.
I wonder if JK is trialing. Because he's
I would assume so, but main tank is our most contentious. So obviously we've got Fusions, we've got Numlocked. Previously we had Christopher, now we'll have JK LOL as well. And Numlocked and Fusions can both make pretty decent cases for themselves. Numlocked, I think, looked consistently good even when his team is sort of like fallen over. But I think it'll be a question of who's going to fit into the comms of Team UK better, because obviously they have experience now with Fusions, who they played with last year and who's a very vocal guy. But will Fusions be as effective if it's not 3-3? Same goes for Numlocked, really. But Numlocked has had a reasonably successful run in dive meta, I believe, with Envision Esports. Prehistoric Contenders days before we got our shiny new logo. He was a reasonably impressive Winston there, and he's also got Organized Wrecking Ball in his repertoire. So it could be a question mark.
I think Fusions is a very good monkey. That's my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I played with him for like 6-7 months in a team, like 2 years. And we played a bunch of dive, and his monkey is even more vocal than his Ryan back then. And so a lot of like, stream of comms, right? And I think he's if they lock it, right, I think he's still a very good choice. I still think Namlock is super good, and Yekelol. But Fusion, I think his comms makes other people more comfortable because they don't have to talk as much and I guess focus on the game. So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, JKL obviously also won season 1 of Contenders
Mm.
with which was a dive sort of like DPS meta. Oh, do we remember season 1, guys? What a time to be alive that was. And they beat Giganti 4-3 in the finals over in
Jeez.
Poland. And that was a very impressive display of Winston play from Fusions as well. When we didn't really know where we stood with Fusions, but then we became very much fans of him before it all went downhill for season 2 of the relegation. The relegation.
I mean, I remember when the changes for Winston came back or came in a couple months ago with his increased damage against armor and that the increased alt generation and so on and so on, and everyone thought that floats would become that much stronger than goats, and people were saying, oh, there's going to be more Winston, and everyone kept saying, well, what about fusions? He's just a Reinhardt, and he actually confirmed to us in his Discord saying, guys, I knew that I was going to Uprising before World Cup, and the thing that they picked me for was my Winston. Um, well, not the thing, but obviously, I mean, it was his main
Mm.
tank at the time. So yes, his Reinhardt is good, but that wasn't the biggest factor. It was in fact his Winston.
I find
Yeah.
that curious, given that they were also picking up Axiom, who, as far as I'm aware, has pretty good wins. But obviously, like Boston know what they want.
So
Yeah.
okay, we have not even remotely answered the question that I asked. Y'all are really good at going off topic.
Tangents are where podcasts thrive.
All right, so your dream Overwatch World Cup team?
Who? Mike?
No, LEGDAY.
Oh,
LEGDAY.
you cut off. We just got like a
Oh,
Yeah.
So I'd probably go with Fusion's Smacks. We've only got one option for off tank, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure the other option for off tank used to be on my team, and he isn't really a pro. Sorry, Roth, I love you really. From hit scan, it's a little bit difficult. I'm definitely going to forget people. I'd probably keep Gibbon. Hit scan, you've got Mikey A, who's a land beast. You've got KSP, potentially Sparker. But it's a little bit of a difficult one. Obviously, Cruz and Boombox are probably the go-to picks for support, but I think Slur's got a good chance if Boombox doesn't want to play. But I think as far as Hayes is concerned, like it's worth keeping the synergy of Cruz and Boombox that they've built up over a couple of years now of both World Cup play and previously United play. Yeah, like UK, I think most of the variants is going to come in the main tank role, possibly hit scan DPS, and maybe flex support, but I would doubt it a little bit. The most interesting one though is the Meals team because Sweden may break the the old guard.
Mm-hmm.
Would be wonderful. Like Sweden needs to. I'm just going to come out and say Sweden needs to take this opportunity to actually show off some of the talent they haven't shown off before.
oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they look. I'm going to use my F bomb here. They look fucking stupid when they bring out the old guard. They're like, check out all these cool players in Sweden, and they crash and burn in group stage. They look like fucking fools when they do that. They're like, we're just going to go for the best team we have available and almost get beaten by fucking Denmark. It's honestly insane. Like no, Sweden has a really good chance to show off a load of fantastic talent that's currently in tier 2 or almost moving up to tier 1, and they need to use the Overwatch World Cup to do that because it's win-win for Sweden if they show off upcoming talent. Like if they don't do well, fine, we wanted to show off upcoming to get exposure, trying to get these guys into Overwatch. If they do well, you look like geniuses. If they you look like nice guys. If you wheel out the old guard and they fuck up again, you look like you're being nepotistic, cronyistic, and like fucking fools. That's my rant on Sweden.
I
That's going on Twitter.
it's understood. Like what you're saying is kind of in every Swede's mind. So it's kind of it's not talked about too much, I think, but it's kind of understood that everyone wants to have a change from last year, because last year was like it's a typical display of a like Swedish house mafia, right? And I think everyone wants to break that, and I think there's a change of how can I say, like a change of players, like a rotation going on right now. Fresh people are coming in, going up, and all of this, right? And I hope Sweden will be packed with new talent and people who wants to show off. And I speak for myself. I obviously want to show off as well. Uh, but we have so many good players. Like just in off tanks, we have like four or five really good Swedish off tanks. So for me and me talking just me personally, like it's gonna be hard to pick because you have me, we have Manhattan, we have Nevix, we have
Elevo.
Elivote, right? And this all off tanks that's you know has achieved something. Me and Elivote we won contenders, right? Nevix is in Manhattan is in one of the top teams in contenders as well, and he's played in World Cup before. And we have insane DPS like Sharp, we have Kevster, we have
Sharp can't play, right?
but
I think
can
he's
he?
too young. I'm not sure.
But
how much he's
that's a shame. Like my
Yeah, it's shame.
Yeah,
like
you have to be 18 at the time of
because
travel.
Padifan obviously or Padipan
Yes.
yeah.
can't play.
That's such a shame. Like Sharp is, I would say he's the best player of the whole Atlantic Showdown.
No, he turns 18 in December, so he will be able to play the next season of Overwatch League, but he won't be able
Yeah,
to play in World Cup.
he's so good. Like Sharp is insane. Regardless, like Sweden can be so good, right? And I think we have Swish as a coach, and I think he knows also from coaching now in contenders to kind of I hope to more pick people that are up and coming because I think people who wants to prove themselves, people who haven't got the chance to prove themselves yet, like they're gonna be more motivated, more I don't know what to say.
To be a little bit more cutthroat about it, since you have to be kind of nice about people who might be picking you. People have had their chance to prove themselves before.
Yeah.
If they messed it up, that's on them.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the roster is gonna be for a Swedish team. I can only speak like for certain. I probably know that it's gonna be Lil Sish for. I don't think there's any other Swedish main tank that's better than him. Off tank, I have no idea. I can't say off tank because I'm off tank myself and I'm trialing. But I would be
Do you know if
happy.
trials are going to be streamed?
Yeah,
I
know.
fuck.
Oh, hell yeah.
Is it your brother?
No.
What have I just activated Siri?
Oh my
Holy
god,
shit.
LEGDAY.
I don't have any details about too much yet, so I'm guessing it's gonna be announced soon. So I can't talk about that too much. But all I know is like for my role of tank for Sweden, I'm happy to see either me or Elev with Lucic as a tank. I would because we both have good synergy with him. And DPS and supports, I don't know. I'm hoping Lude and Eps because I know them. And DPS can be, there's so many talented people.
Epps is super good. I'd be really sad to see him.
I don't think there's anyone rival Eps really, but there might be people popping up in the tryouts. And my honest opinion about the Sweden and all this roster, I would say look at everyone, even the old guard of Swedish people, as just a clean slate, and just go off performance in the tryouts and then see from there. Because I think the best way to do everything would just be have no like don't worry about who you're friends with, don't worry about what they've done before. If they're one Overwatch League, one contenders, played in a Go for in tier 3, doesn't matter. If they perform in the tryouts, I think they should give it. That's my opinion.
Well, that's a fair enough assessment, especially when you've got as much talent as Sweden has.
Yeah.
Like,
Y'all are stacked.
barring a major mess up, they're not going to bring a weak roster. Like, even with just if you guys just use tier 2 players, you could have 2 mid-tier Overwatch World Cup rosters without any problems.
All right, let's move on to you, oPuTo.
It's
Who
really
do you
hard for
think?
me because we have a lot of like underage player right now,
Jesus,
and
age thing is such a monker.
I don't know any player because oh holy shit. From
I
from
used a swear word.
You used like 6 leg day. Shush.
it was in one sweary tirade.
from main tank, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Tito from Uprising Academy
Mm-hmm.
because he is the best tank in Thailand right now. But flex tank, I'm not sure it's gonna be Mickey. I'm not
Oh
sure.
yeah. Okay.
But I want to play with him again. It's like it's so happy to play with. But my dream team is not just a good team, it's just happy team.
Oh, that's so wholesome. What?
And flex support is gonna be Penny S.
Mhm.
But DPS and main support, I have no idea. But DPS is me. One,
Hell yeah, hell
one
yeah,
is
of
me,
course.
yeah.
Just
But
dibs.
I don't know about two more players because I'm like of information of Thai people, the Thai players.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. When are your
because
trials starting?
I don't know yet.
Oof.
Yeah, and a lot of good players underage, like THK,
Mm,
Partipan. Yeah, they're all like underage.
jeez.
Unlucky for them.
GG, go next.
They just
GG
they just
Linux.
they just
KR.
tell he like they want to be World Cup player, and then
Mhm.
Blizzard announce, oh, you underage.
Just get a fake
Ah.
ID. Easy.
Lol.
Like buying alcohol.
Can you stop encouraging devious behavior on my podcast?
Like David Deviant.
All right. LEGDAY's not getting invited back on the grind. Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's it. That my. Just four players in my mind.
All right. I'm excited to see what these teams are going to bring up. I would talk a bit about the South African scene, but y'all don't know anything about that. So let's move swiftly along
Hey,
to our.
I know Visions and 20. I used to play
Wait,
quick play with those
you know,
boys.
oh, that's huge. Actually, well, 20 and Visions are both trialing at the moment. In
Yeah, man.
fact,
I love my
and they.
boys. I used to play a load of comp with 20 and Nunix back in Trio Q in season 2,
Yeah.
and then I lost it all.
Well, Visions is actually he was on our 2016 World Cup roster, and he's back again trialing for this one. That was way back the first World Cup when there weren't requirements and anybody could participate.
Oh yeah,
We got
like
absolutely
half the UK
smacked.
roster turned up, so we can't we can't judge anyone because we didn't even turn up for the games.
Oof.
Like to his credit, Stylosa was voted in and he turned up.
Aw,
A lot of people didn't.
There's actually a VOD on YouTube. You can go find it. Overwatch World Cup 2016, Team South Africa versus Germany. It was the smackening.
Oh, that was back when Germany actually had a decent main.
Oof.
That was when that
Well.
was when Skipjack was in form.
Well, we are attempting to build something that can do a little better. We've got a couple of coaches helping out as well, so I'm pretty excited for this. I can't say that I think we're going to do fantastically well overall, but I think it's going to be a fantastic experience for the players, if nothing else. And it's nice to get some eyes on South Africa because people. Do you know how many people ask me if I'm from Australia? So
Isn't
yes.
South Africa right next to Australia anyway? Forehead.
Sure, leg day. Sure. Let's move on to our next little fun segment. So this isn't really a kind of topic of discussion. This is just gonna be like a fun thing for us to do. It is yet another tier list. We did it last week, and it was fairly well received. Last week we talked about different compositions in Overwatch. This week we're gonna be talking about the different maps in Overwatch and figuring out where we rank them. So I'm going to ask our producer. I don't know if he already has, but we're going to be moving over to a different screen where you guys can see where
Ooh,
we're going to be ranking.
lovely.
So let's get started. Obviously, you guys should understand how the rankings work. There's the S class and all the way down to like I think it's E or
Mm.
let's start with Hanamura. All right.
F
this-
F Z, the lowest tier
No,
of
no.
possible. Hanamura in the fucking bin.
It's a C.
What do you mean C?
It's
Who enjoys Hanamura?
because we beat NVM Atlantic on Hanamura, and I found a love for it because of winning.
That feels like bias based on
very
results.
biased. Yes.
oPuTo, where do you put Hanamura?
Oh, I'm a
Do you
fan
like
of
it?
2CP. Sorry.
You
You're-
like
E.
2CP?
Yeah.
Oh my lord. This is a disaster. I went on the wrong
LEGDAY's done
episode
with
of
life.
Grind.
I will put it at D, maybe C or D for me.
Ah, okay. D. No, I'm dragging it down because I'm putting it in fucking trash.
All right. Let's move. Okay, so are you guys happy if we put it in D tier? I think it's a happy middle ground.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
takes
okay.
into account all of our both correct and wrong opinions.
Yikes. All right. Well, we're starting with 2CP, so let's just get them all out of the way. The next one is going to be Horizon Lunar Colony.
S.
Z.
S.
F. The worst.
oPuTo wants this one in the
I'm
highest
going for
tier.
D tier, so I'll put it in F. But
No.
I call it D tier because as a caster, the space is fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Horizon is the worst of 2CP. I don't like it. It's too gray.
Well, we've got S and then we've got F. So I think we're going to bring it back to the middle ground. So we'll stick that one in D as well. Get a happy medium going. I can see y'all are never going to agree on anything. Next up, Paris.
S. Yeah.
No.
My favorite map.
No.
Favorite map?
Z.
I've only ever won Paris in comp using Hamster Winston Dive, so I'm a B.
Oh
Oh,
no.
It's been fun for me to play on those occasions.
The reason why I put Luna and Paris on the S tier because I can play Zomba and I can run anywhere I want because the map
Chase,
is huge.
what is this Paris? I say B, oPuTo says S.
Yeah.
eMIL says Z, and you put it in F. What is this internal alphabet math that you're alphabetic spaghetti on the brain right now?
Every map that Sombra's good on, like, I hate, okay? Sombra maps, Z.
Oh lord, I'm still hung up on alphabeti spaghetti. Okay, I think
Actual math.
C is probably the better middle ground, not F. all right. Next up, Temple of Draw Nubis.
I
I don't like
it
don't
has
like
Wither-
Anubis.
I like Anubis a lot. I would put it at A.
it has Widowmaker while I'm casting, so I quite like it. I'd put it at B.
It's a good
I
diva
put-
map.
I put at F because when I play this map, when I play this map, I swear in my heart like fuck this map. F for fuck.
Oh my god.
No.
This is actually a meme. All right. So what are we saying? C?
I like-
C was
Well, we had
Yeah.
an A, a B, and a Z. So,
So it's
we're
gonna be
like
C
B,
or D?
so we're like C plus.
So C. Let's go with C.
I
Right.
can't believe we've ended up. You guys realize how much of like a group of bad people we are that all the 2CP maps have ended up being mid tier because of you.
I mean, Anubis the only good one.
Well, we still
And
got
that's the one
Volsky
that
to go.
oPuTo hates.
Yeah.
Volsky is the last one, so let's go.
Volskaya.
See, I quite like Volsky as a caster. I'd put that in a B. As
I
a
would put-
player, I'm not so much of a fan, but
I put it in. I put it in B as well. I like.
B2.
Poggers, Volsky confirmed king of assault maps.
It's the best. it's the best. Like just objectively speaking, it's the
Like,
best
it
one.
feels like you can actually attack it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, B tier, and we've actually got some uniformity. Nice. All right, let's
One
move on
sec.
to the escort maps. We'll start with Dorado. Oh, Legday's AFK.
Dorado, I would put it like F. I don't like.
Red.
Mm.
I put D.
D?
D is
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. D or F? I say F.
D or F, I say F.
Yeah, I don't like second point at all.
All right. Legday's back. Let's
Are
give
we
it a
about to
sec.
put Dorado in F tier?
Mm-hmm.
My lads, that is an S tier map. That is
No,
you can play Winterborn first.
no. It's the worst.
How is
Alright, so-
Dorado the worst? What kind of diva player are you?
It's, I don't know. You
We're
always get
talking
stuck at
Mount,
second point.
Mount Dirty Vertical on fucking stage
Like,
2.
It's good for Diva, right? But I feel like just from playing it, you always get stuck at the same point, no matter what team. You hold them at second, you push to second. Okay, that's all that happens.
Okay, what's
All right,
next?
we've got
Are
an
we
S
running for
and
a song?
D. Yeah, we got an S, a D, and an F. So let's stick it in D, I
Okay.
guess. All right, next up, Havana.
Wana?
Havana. Hmm.
Havana.
It's like banger map, I think.
Hmm.
Right.
Mm,
It's difficult. I would put it at C, B, maybe.
I have no opinion in either direction, so I must see.
I put it at C.
I see too.
Mm.
What? You guys agreed on something? Yeah,
Like,
you-
Havana's too new for us to have any deeply ingrained hatred yet.
It's
That's fair.
okay.
Like, you need to lose it a fair few times in ranks to people throwing for you to really start deeply, seethingly hating a map.
All right, next up we've got Junkertown.
Oh man, S for the highest one. I
S.
love watching Junkertown.
I like Junkertown. I'll put S.
S.
Hell yeah, our first S tier map, and it's one that I hate.
Junkertown is a pog map because there's like so little cover. It's time to bring out those Widowmakers. Show me Pharahs. People just hide inside the building with the May, and then you're like, we need more DPS to break this. And they bring out more DPS.
Always fun on Junkertown.
For me, I can't like Junkertown because I have way too many Protect the Bastion freaking flashbacks. Jeez. Alright. The next one is also one that I absolutely despise, and it is Rialto.
That's an S.
Mm,
I like Rialto. I could play Ash on Rialto with Angry Titans, so I like Rialto.
I'm gonna call Rialto an A tier because I like the map, but I get terrible flashbacks to where we choked so hard against South Korea in the World Cup.
Oof.
I push at A.
A
Ah.
it shall be. Nice. Y'all are weird. Alright.
We're quite positively inclined on our escort maps, with the exception of Dorado. Somehow.
We got
Why is
people in the chat
Junkertown S
quiet.
tier?
I saw that.
We've got ourselves some dummies in the chat.
Chat. JK, I'm with you, dude. I don't know what these guys are on.
Mate,
Alright, next up.
That's your home, Junkertown.
What do you
It's in
Okay.
Australia, dude.
Get out. Okay, next up, Route 66.
I'd say A tier as well. It's pretty fun.
I'd say A, maybe A as well. Long time since I played it.
Yeah, sometime A, sometime B. Put
Mm.
it A. Like
Alright, A it shall be. For anyone that's confused, specifically this BC Zinc person, we're using like an average. So if somebody says S, somebody says F, then it winds up in like D, which is what happened in Horizon because oPuTo loves 2CP and the other kids absolutely despise it. All right, next up, Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Mega S, the best
That's an S.
map in the game. Let's go, dudes.
Yeah, S,
Point
S.
Gibraltar is
Yeah.
the one.
S.
Do we have a tier
Yes.
above S, like Keanu Reeves tier?
S plus.
I like S.
S plus.
Like, it is undisputedly maybe tied for best map in the game.
Well, there you go. All right, we're moving on to Hybrid. First up,
Keanu Reeves tier. Let's go.
Blisney World.
Blizzard World.
Mm.
I think it's, but I'm not so like. Surely eMIL likes it because like
I like it because I got to
because he
play
gets to
Ash.
play Ash.
Mm.
Like I like to watch Ash as well. That definitely brought Blizzard World up for me. Like for me, Blizzard World's a B tier.
But attacking Blizzard World is not fun. So I don't know. Defending it's S. Attacking it's F. So I will put it at maybe B.
I put it C.
C, okay.
Yeah, C.
LEGDAY, what was yours?
Mine was also a B.
All right, so B it shall be.
Let it
Y'all got
be.
some haters in the chat.
Mate.
All right,
Well-
next up, Eichenwald.
Eichenwald used to be fun.
Used to be.
Used to be.
And then they
now
made
it's
the
just
cinematic, and now I just want to cry when I load
now it's
in.
just like a solid C tier for me. Like Eichenwald used to be one of my most favorite maps, but now I'm not so much. Like it's just so
Yeah, I don't know. I like the visuals of the map. It's not so harsh on my eyes, when but the map itself, I would put it at the D.
Pyro Bear, you haven't won enough scrims on Gibraltar.
Oof! Get shreked. All right, oPuTo, where would you put
Horizon is
Eichenwald?
terrible though.
I like this map because it's the castle. Yeah,
Wait,
castle.
Mm.
Yeah, so
That's why I
But
like
I-
it as well.
I put C.
all right, it sounds like it's a C tier map, boys. All right, next up is Hollywood.
I'm gonna go with A on Hollywood. I like Hollywood.
I like it as well.
Hollywood. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, we.
Oh yeah.
I'm putting it at the A.
Put that A too.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Pretty funny.
A.
Consensus. I like it.
Pyro, you
Alright.
know that as someone who also plays on a team with Mustachio, I too have never won a Horizon scrim. The trackball
man.
master just you can't make it work.
All right. Well, if we're talking about maps with flashbacks, the next one always makes me think of Kibb's Roadhog hooking Pharahs out of the sky. It is King's Row.
This is for tied for best map in the game with Gibraltar. So that's an
Yeah.
S plus from me.
I agree.
And also like I'm technically being patriotic right now, so I think I can get that as like a tax refund.
I like it because it's a dark map, so it's nice for your eyes. But
What?
That's the only
it's like the
reason.
dark, it's like Overwatch dark mode.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
your Dorado is dark map?
But
What
the road
the
is horrible. King's Row
You
is
say you
decent.
You say you like dark map.
Yeah,
But Dor-
but Dorado is, I don't know. I don't like Dorado's map design is horrible. King's Row is actually okay. So I would put it at A or S. You can put it at S.
that
Yes, it
I
shall
put
be.
Kingslaw S.
S.
Nice. All right. For the last one yet, Numbani.
For a caster,
I-
it's an S. As a player, less.
Wait, as a player, what? You cut out for me.
Hmm.
I'm an A for Numbani.
Okay.
I'm S actually. Numbani is my favorite map.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
oPuTo?
money is A, but in rank game is F.
Agree. But
People don't know how to play this map. What the fuck?
yeah,
And
it's
in
true.
Scrim, in Scrim is very fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's A.
What do you mean? Reinhardt attack. Let's go.
I would put A as well because in comp it's horrible, but I like it a lot. It's S or A.
All right, let's put it in A.
Yeah, but it's
Alright.
a
Like,
good map when
people
meta
really
is
don't
soldier
like Jump.
meta.
Yeah.
Soldier meta, yeah. Yeah, we see Soldier quite a bit on Numbani still in the lower
And
tier games.
Farah. We love Farah.
All right. Now we're going to move on to control, and we'll start with Busan.
I personally think Busan's the worst control map.
Hmm.
Well, I love the visual design and the music, but not a fan of the map.
I don't know actually. I
I love that there are
say
some
B.
maps you guys are super passionate about, and some maps where you're just like, meh.
I mean, I think Busan, like the map with a drum in the middle is like lazy map design. Um,
Yikes.
but
Oh, that's Sanctum, isn't it? Or
yeah,
Sanctuary.
something like that. I would put it at B. That's me, because I like King of the Hill.
Okay. Yeah, Pudo's got with the sun.
D. Busan.
Okay, that sort of goes in the middle anyway. It is a D.
All right. D it shall be.
Can't believe you guys saved Hanamura from trash can tier.
All
Should
right,
be
next
ashamed of
up,
yourselves.
Ilios.
Ilias is said or said worst.
You mean I love Ilios?
It's so bright. My eyes.
we got fucking sunglasses McGee over here when he plays Similios.
Ilias is horrible. Like you have to fix your monitor settings just to see anything on it.
Is there like, one sec, guys, pause. I need to adjust my brightness.
Leg day.
I'm a C for Ilios because I like to play Winston on it.
oPuTo.
Put D.
D.
Okay, so
Alright,
probably
so
into
we had-
like D or F.
Looks like it's D. Has anything been put into E yet?
Well, E doesn't exist.
Fair. All right. Next up, Li Zhang.
That's
Lee Jung is an S for me. I
S
think
S
plus.
tier for me. Yeah.
same.
So
Highest.
everybody putting that in S. All right, cool.
Also, it's a dark map, so it saves for poor eyes of eMIL.
Yes,
Like, eMIL can
exactly.
get onto there and be like, finally, time to turn my monitor on again.
Please, can this become a meme? Somebody put this on Facebook, make it circulate. This has gotta go.
No,
This has gotta go.
I would seem so old then. I'm not that old.
Yeah, he's gonna create an image for Overwatch League recruiters so
Yeah.
you can actually look at his monitor.
All right. Next up, Nepal.
I think Nepal's okay. I just put it in B or C tier. Like, I think it's got a nice little bit of variety in the map. Like, Sanctum's always good for something a bit random, which makes it fun to cast.
If they remove village, it's S, but because village is there, I would put it at A.
Okay.
Put it B.
Sorry,
Okay.
Legday, what was yours again?
Mine was also B.
Okay, B it shall be. All right, and the last control map. Actually, this will be our last map. I'm not doing the arcade maps. Oasis.
Has anyone actually played the arcade maps here? I don't play arcade at all.
No.
I have played the arcade maps. Some of them are terrible.
Actually, just outing yourself as a freaking casual over here.
I am a casual. What?
Playing arcade, Dan's game.
Petra is awful. I'm just putting it out there. It's yikes. Okay, but focus.
Oasis is an A tier for me, but it might be a bit bright for the others.
I would say it's okay. It's
Ready, guys?
medium, you know. I always say B.
It's like dusk, so
Yeah,
the sun
B.
isn't out. It's just a little bit of afterglow.
OSC. OSC
C.
is B. B.
Yeah, B.
All right, so B it shall be. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's it. That's the last of it. That's our tier list. We will be putting that out onto social media a little bit later. If any of you guys did your own personal one that like differs from this one with like your actual opinions, feel free to post those and tag us in it, and we'll do the retweet thing. We'd like to see, what you guys came up with, specifically the guests, and you that are viewing as well. If you were also doing this along with us, please tag us. Let us see what your map rankings are. I'd be interested to find out. That's gonna bring us to the end of our scheduled topics for this episode, which leaves us just enough time to go through a couple of questions. And oh boy, we got some questions. We're going to start off with this first one. And this is from Shrugoff, and he asks, this is for everybody, so all of you can answer. What are your thoughts on NA and Korea having 70% of the spots in Gauntlet?
I am very excited because, like I said before, it means NA are gonna get last place.
Vindictive.
Like,
For me, like they deserve it because the grand final is NA vs NA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Korean vs Korean, so they deserve, I think.
like,
Yo, what if Fusion win contenders and then go to Gauntlet as Korea?
well,
It could happen.
they don't
It's
even need
okay.
to win. They don't even need to win contenders. They just need to
Either
get
way,
to the
though.
finals or get to the semifinals and win the tiebreaker. Like, I don't see a world where Fusion Uni don't go and represent Korea.
I
Like,
think that would be
I
great.
imagine
Though.
we'll see Element Mystic Runaway and Fusion Uni going from Korea, and who's gonna beat that 3-team lineup? Who's gonna beat that? No one's gonna beat that. Like,
This could
that,
be amazing. Fusion Uni's like, here's a fourth Gauntlet spot, and when I see you at Gauntlet, I get to whoop 4 of you.
well, the thing is, they just it was tactical. They gave NA an extra gauntlet spot because they wanted a freebie.
Hey.
Like they knew that if EU kept 2 spots, it wouldn't be as free. It would just be slightly free.
Oh my lord. oPuTo, what do you think about NA and Korea having so many Gauntlet spots?
Oh, I was talk about that. They deserve it. I think because they're good enough. But
I suppose that's
NA
yeah.
NA full spot is too much.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
busted.
perfect.
Can we
Busted.
change to
I
Korean
think
full
it's
spot?
I think it's perfect. I give them
Ah,
5.
what do you mean Korea 4 spots? What do you even mean?
Or just give
Electronic
away
want those
to
spots.
give away to EU.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. Now I'm on your page. All right, next question is for LEGDAY and eMIL, and I did read this before the show started, and eMIL promised he'd think about it. So let's see if he
Mm.
thought about it.
Oh,
Do you feel that British Hurricane choked at the showdown, or were they already?
Legday, do you want to go first?
No, you can go. You can go.
Oh, uh, I think I don't think they choked, but I don't think they played at their full potential. That's what I think. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves because I know we did in Angry Titans, so I know how it felt. Um, and I just think, maybe choke is the right word then, but I don't. They didn't play their game, but they still did. I feel like it's hard to explain. They're a really solid team from scrimming them, from playing them in tournaments. They're really, really solid. But I think sometimes they're better in officials, and sometimes they can get in their own head. Because they're very opinionated players, a lot of them, right? Um, and I think they take losses and bad performances to heart, and they take it very seriously, and it's hurting them when it comes to Atlantic Showdown. And now I feel very like beating themselves down, having a lot of pressure and all. I think we're better than what the results say. I think they're really good. That's my opinion.
And Mills definitely got the in their head aspect very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to come out and say that that second that loss that took him out of the tournament was an Omega choke, dude. Like they looked very good against Envy. They
Mm.
looked like they could go toe to toe with Fusion Uni and Envy, and I don't know what happened to them. It just like between the days, did they not sleep? Did did they
It's
did they get
probably
drunk and come in hungover?
LAN
Did
environment,
they
I
turn off
guess.
their monitors to try and make sure Emil and the crowd was not blinded? Like,
No, I could have been a Shogun. Like I don't know. At LAN
the
is
first day
different,
looked
right?
super good from them.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know what happened between day 1 and day 2 that they looked so lost
Didn't they
against
have a lot of
Atlanta.
players that were like inexperienced on LAN? Like didn't Sparker play two maps?
Spark is new to Lana. I don't think they won a map.
Yeah. Like Jofi also new to LAN as well, right? and Danne as well. So I think maybe the LAN environment was a little bit intimidating, probably.
It's weird because at the moment, sort of like Brother Sharkin have like a revolving door of who would ostensibly be the issue every week.
Mhm.
Like in contenders last week, it looked like Suna was just being outclassed in every way on Zaya compared to Yona.
Mm.
Whereas at Atlantic Showdown, it seemed more like Yofi was their liability.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what's really going on with him right now. But
I
I have
I
faith
just
that
wanna
time will make it better.
yeah I just wanna say like I've experienced them at their full power, right? And I know all of them are super good. Like them as a team, they're really good. So I just think if they all play at full power, everything clicks. They deserved all the praise they got before, right? I think they deserved it. They just have to maintain that because I think we're all super good.
Yeah. All right. Next question from Reepy Russell for eMIL. With so many strong, we did kind of sort of cover this a little bit in our World Cup chat earlier, but with so many strong Swedish off tanks, Elivote, Manet, and Nevix, all the guys you mentioned, what do you think your chances are of getting into the national team?
Um, well, I think my chances is as good as anyone else. But then again, like I know for a fact, Elevate has a lot of play. If Lucic now gonna be the main, and I know Nevix has tons of experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a good chance. I think I'm more than good enough for it. I'm very confident in myself. Um, and I have a lot of experience in different teams, in different team environments. So like my strength as a player, which I think a lot of people don't have, is actually me being with so many different teams, so many different environments, so many different com structures, so many different personalities, right? So I know I will kind of just fit in with whatever people are gonna throw at me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can perform, so that's no problem for me. But then again, I think I have as much chance as anyone else. I think it's gonna be, you know, whoever it is, like that Switch picks, I'm happy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as long as Sweden performs, I'm happy. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I'm not gonna be happy if they pick Elevote. I'm gonna be happy. I want Sweden to. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna do my.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Obviously, trials coming up just around the corner. Next question is from Sci-Fight, our very own producer for the day, and it's for oPuTo. How do you like the new Talon players, Patty Pan and Mango Jai? And do they have any funny habits?
I don't see yet. I don't see any habit from, but I like to. I love Patty Pan join my team. I don't need to pay Saria. I just keep practice my Sombra. That's what I want. Easy life. Yeah, easy life. And Mango is. I like him because he's like when he scream, he's yell about like winnable situation. When he winnable, he's yelling like this. It's randomly happen in scream, but yeah, it's winnable. I don't know why, but
I have the privilege of meeting Mango Jai at the Incheon stop of the World Cup, and he seemed like a super nice guy. Just has
yeah,
one of those like really positive energies around him that sort of like fires you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's very positive.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is from David, coach of Yab. This one is for Leg Day. What are your favorite storylines from past EU contenders seasons? How do you feel about the storylines going into the new season, clockwork and all of that?
One of my favorite storylines as a main tank player is what I call the ancestry.com of main tanks in Giganti. Like the run through of like Fraggy to LH Cloudy and then to Milky Man. Because
Mhm.
Milky Man was uh quite a newcomer when he joined Giganti. Obviously, he'd played on Mayhem Academy before, but in EU, we hadn't really seen a huge amount of him. I'd played with him myself in a couple of times, and he'd done some tier 3 stuff before going over to Mayhem. and like you've got a very sort of like anime trope that you can play on there as a caster, being able to like he's channeling his ancestors when he hits those big shadows, like channeling the inner fraggy. He stepped into the boots of the fragster. He's donned the helmet of the cloud, and he's become the Gigantic Crusader. Like
Nice.
it's a very fun storyline to play on. So that was one of my favorite ones. For Resurgence of British Hurricane as well after season 2 was quite interesting because that was a bit of a dumpster fire in season 2, but they came back pretty strong. And actually, they got their playoff hopes ended by Milky Man as well with a 2-man halt on Ilios well, which is
Jeez.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have a load of good storylines in EU Contenders. What's the second part of the question? I just started going off on my tirade about Milky Man's sort of like legend.
Storylines going into the new season.
It's definitely the huge amount of new talent that we have. Like EU Contenders for a while has been sort of like a recycling place. Like you just keep seeing the same players again and again, and rarely do they see a huge improvement, unfortunately. But we're definitely seeing a lot of improvements now. We're seeing players who are just coming into their own. Like the one I definitely bring up from last week was Yona or Jonah, depending on whether you're from Scandinavia. Like I really liked Jonah before, but I was never under the illusion that Jonah was like a top tier Zarya. But he looked really good last week, and he was sort of like kicking Suna to the curb, which was an impressive feat. It's such a good storyline when like we had 2 perfect seasons in season 1. We had the perfect season of British Hurricane in group stage, didn't lose a single game. And we have the perfect season of Young and Beautiful, who didn't win a single game. And then coming into season 2, like you have these 2 diametrically opposed forces which clash against each other, and British Hurricane absolutely exsanguinated. They are eviscerated
They got
by
smacked.
Young and Beautiful. You're like, so power rankings are out the window, dudes. This is this is a clusterfuck of a season that's about to happen. I love it, dude.
I do just want to shout out to whoever is behind oPuTo and like randomly sticking their hands in the camera, just waving, and he hasn't even noticed. I see you. I see you. All right. And this one also from David. Question for eMIL. Do you feel that your play style is already changing from playing in a new region and a new team?
Yeah, like how I played in Europe was a very particular style. And I've noticed now we kind of had a particular style of playing in Diva and Angry Titans. That was signature to us. I have noticed a lot of European teams and some divas like starting to do the same thing. I can't say too much, but my style I play is now in NA is different.
Yeah.
It's a different meta. Like just with goats versus goats, NA and EU is just like it's not the same game. Like it's not, you don't do the same things. You don't move the same way. Describe people, right? So it's definitely different. I would say in NA it's more everyone is trying to emulate Overwatch League instead of doing their own thing. Europe is more, they have their own meta, they have their own thing, and Europe kind of don't trust that Overwatch League is doing the right thing. Like Europe is more like
It's so true.
we have our own thing we do. Like everyone else kind of is not good enough or don't know what we're talking about. So we're just gonna have evolve our own meta, and the meta like from week to week is just different. Like one team might do something in scrims that's super good, and like 1 week goes and everyone is doing it, and it just evolves into its own thing. Well, NA is just the same as Overwatch League, kind of.
Speaking of Overwatch League, do you guys get to scrum gladiators? Or
I think it depends. I don't know how much I can. Most of the time, a lot of teams play their Overwatch League teams to warm up.
Sure.
And yeah, that's all I can
That's
say.
pretty cool.
nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Either way.
I
Yeah.
imagine Mayhem
Alright.
Academy always won.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you wanna know something just quick? Like the big thing, like that I think is good with playing in NA is actually who you scrim. Because when you're in Europe, you're kind of limited to these same teams over and over again. In NA, the whole world open up, right? So that's kind of why you wanna go to NA and play in NA is all the teams you scrim, all the people who might see you pop off in a scrim,
Yeah.
and that's very valuable.
Cool.
Didn't think of that. All right, next question is from A Burn, and this one is also for oPuTo. Has the gym improved your Zarya gameplay?
No, because I never I never play Saria. Yeah.
Oh, dearie me. All right, we got 2 questions left, Jan. Let's just quickly run through them because we are a little bit over time here. This question is from Pixie, caster Pixie, yes, and it's for LEGDAY.
Oh
Why
my.
do you make the same face in every Twitter photo?
Because that's my face. Like, I, I don't know if people are expecting me to begin frowning. Like, I'll just take every self.
Blue steel.
Like, just Magnolia, all of them. To be honest, like my face doesn't really change. So when I smile, it looks like me smiling. It's almost as if I am a human being with a fairly set cellular and skeletal structure around this area that we call the head. Occasionally, it changes via dyeing of the hair or style. Unfortunately, I cannot apply hair gel to my nose to straighten it. So, if you require further clarification on how faces work, feel free to DM me. My DMs are always open for those in need of some scientific counsel.
Would anyone else love to see a leg day pixie cast? I feel like the banter would be off the charts.
I would love to cast with Pixie.
All right, there you go, Pixie. Leg day wants to cast with you. All right, last question. This is from Russell, and it ended with a smile emoji, so you know it's a. How's your hand?
Well, I went to the doctors. We had an X-rayed, and we don't have any fractures. Yay! But
Yay!
I may have a torn ligament. Yeah, may have to have a follow-up and potentially a surgery, which would be a boo.
Yeesh.
But if that was the last question, I've got one for eMIL and eMIL, since they both played in respective showdowns.
Go for it.
So we make no secret that Path to Pro runs on a certain budget, and occasionally changes are made, which not everyone is in agreement with. Casters, talent, even management. I know that management wish they had more money to do more things with, but
Yeah.
over the last couple of seasons, we have seen a move away from regional land finals, and in the wake of this year, it seems like that kind of event money is being diverted towards the international competitions of the Gauntlet and the Showdowns. As two people who got to play in those particular events, do you think that the international competition as like a use of resources for Path to Pro is preferable to the land finals for the respective regions?
Good question.
Question.
I don't know.
Just dropping the heavy ones at the end here.
I think I like the idea of like Atlantic Showdown, Gauntlet, stuff like that, right? But I think I don't know. I think it's and this is my opinion and stuff like this now is winning contenders 2 years ago had much more weight to it than winning contenders now. Almost winning contenders kind of for some players doesn't even make a dent in their career in Overwatch now. It seems like, and I think lands are good in any kind. I think showdown, gauntlet, whatever is good. I think having just regional lands are good, but I think it's kind of and like either way. That's my opinion. I think that it's kind of been neglected, you know, and at least when there's a contenders final or contenders game, show it in the Battle.net client at least. I don't know. I feel it feels like it's too late. I feel neglected, and it feels sometimes these LAN tournaments were kind of trying to make up for it in a way. Well, that's my opinion. I think it's too late, but I think any type of LAN is good, and more LAN the better. And that's my opinion of it.
I agree with him. It's too late, but I feel like Showdown is make like is motivate people want to win their Legion. Yeah, I think it's good to have this event.
Yeah, better late than never, right?
Yeah.
We're getting there. Well,
Yeah.
I think that a great step, just in terms of Path to Pro, now this isn't specifically contenders or LAN or whatever, but the fact that now Open Division is being cast on the contenders channel, like it's small steps like that. We went from Broadcast.gg 2 seasons ago, casting on our own channel, getting maybe 600 views to if if the Overwatch League hosted us while we were on the contenders channel, we would shoot up to about 5,000 viewers, and that's for tier 3. So small things like that are making a difference, which I have been very happy to see.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I love watching the open. Like it's sometimes more fun than contenders. Just seeing people you don't know play. Maybe you see someone making a you know big mistake or a big play, and I think it's fun to watch.
I like seeing people you vaguely know play, like people you've seen on
Right?
ladder, and you're like, "Do I know that guy? Oh, he's feeding. Yeah, I know that guy. I remember him."
All right, guys, that's kind of it for this episode. We had somebody in oPuTo's background doing a little dance for us. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I think that means it's probably time to end it there before we start seeing some more interesting things in the background. So thank you guys for being my guests today. I'm so sorry that we had to start so late, but you guys are such champs for sticking around until Sci-Fi was able to get here, and of course to the viewers. Sorry we started late, but thank you for being here either way. I think we all had a ton of fun. We are going to be doing our best to get an episode out later this week, but we will keep you guys updated on that. So from myself and the guests, thank you everybody, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good week, and don't forget to watch Contenders. NA starts. See you guys around.